Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to First State Hoops Report live on our YouTube channel. I am, of course, First State Hoops Report founding editor Chris Stevens, taking off my socks as I just got back in the house. Got back from Salesianum, St. Elizabeth just a while ago, and that was a very good game. If you missed it, there will be plenty of highlights that will be coming from other content creators because, well, yeah, I left my battery charger here at the house. I didn't realize I had a dead battery in my camera until I started filming warm-ups. And then I saw, the battery flash and go battery exhaust. I said, okay, I'll just reach my bag and get my chart. I said, I'll reach my bag and get my chart. Hold on. Reaching my bag and get my chart. I left my charger at the house, y'all. Yes, left my charger at the house. Not very happy with that development, so I did not get to record any highlights for you all tonight. Very disappointed in myself, quite honestly. And it's funny because after all that noise I was talking on Holton Court this morning about being a professional, being in this since before any of the high school athletes I've been covering have been alive. Your boy forgot one of the most important essentials of his craft, and that is the battery charger and the backup batteries for his camera. So, yes, no highlights. I did do interviews on my phone. I'm going to upload the stuff I did with head coach Mike Cassidy and Stephen Nixon Jr. once this live is finished. But I did want to go live really briefly to talk to you guys about the game itself, which turned out to be very, very good in spite of the fact that Sal's had played a game the night before and won at Malvern Prep. And I don't think Taylor Trevisan or any of his guys will use having a back-to-back, being the second half of a back-to-back as an excuse, because they played very well. They actually led, I think I want to say either 6-0 or 8-2, either one of the two. They got off to a really good start. And then once again, like I mentioned, when St. Elizabeth played Apple, they jump on you so quickly. I mean, the run is coming. You just don't know when it's coming. And a lot of that had to do with Aiden Tobias. And I mean, the kid is going to Temple for a reason. Really, really good game out of him, 30 points. JT Wright had 28. He was living at the free throw line. He made his first 10. Shout out to Bruce Wayne. He was talking about because Julius was 10 of 10 from the free throw line at first. He missed one, and I leaned into Bruce. I said that was the first one he missed tonight. And he was talking to another content creator. He was like, "Yeah, I told him, he was 10 to 10 for that." I was like, so you the one that did the announcers jinx. So I didn't do the announcers jinx. JT, if you see this, it wasn't me. It was Bruce. So you wanted to take that up with him. But yeah, JT had a really good night. Stephen Nixon Jr. really was the guy that played into their pace, got St. E where they wanted to be and had Sal chasing him pretty much the whole night. One thing I noticed is that he was originally starting early in the season, the first time I saw them, and then Kyan Alexander started, and then Steven started coming off the bench. Feels like, you need a good sixth man or sixth woman in the girls' case in basketball, and St. E got their guy because Steve, he really, sets the tempo. He sets up that offense. He can look for his own shot. He did a really good job, of getting Aiden and JT and other scorers and, Kenny Hunter Jr. and Tobias Reese in the spots where they needed to be. So it's a really good job out of Stephen Nixon Jr. tonight for St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth right now, I don't think there can be any argument they're the best team in the state at this point. I mean, you can make the argument that South has played a tougher schedule, and they have. You can't take that from them. You can make the argument that Dover has really looked good, except for losing by 1 point to Stephen Decatur. But yeah, Dover is up there as well. But I think St. Elizabeth is the top boys team in the state. It's really that simple. You can chalk it up to Mike Cassidy having those guys understanding their assignments. They really are aggressive on defense. They take advantage of turnovers. And once again, they drew fouls on Salesianum today. I don't know how much of that was Sal's being tired, just reaching in, going over the back, being a little, lackadaisical, with, getting out of control or whatever. But St. E did what they were supposed to do today. This was their test game because they actually, split the season series with Sal's last year. And I think, honestly, this is the only time they actually meet this year, if I'm not mistaken, during the regular season, which is very disappointing. But if there is a God, we will see this matchup again, hopefully in the Final Four of the state championship game. So as far as Salesianum goes, you can't discount them. I mean, they still have a very, 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 very good team. I think this is just my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not going to tell Taylor Trevisan how to run his team. Obviously, he's a state championship coach. He don't need me, giving him pointers, quite frankly. But I feel like Isaiah Hinton needs to look for a shot more. I mean, Kareem Thomas played well. Justin Hines played well. Zach scored out. I was really impressed with his energy. He used up all 5 of them fouls, buddy. Believe you me, he did it. He did. I mean, but he also scored 12 points. I mean, he did a really, really good job of being the high energy guy for Salesianum. I still like that entire team. Robbie Johnson Jr. I'm just amazed that this dude is like, the Reggie White of 3A football. If you don't know who Reggie White is, go look him up. You'll be glad you did. RJ is like the Reggie White of Delaware 3A football, and then he comes on the basketball court and he's just so smooth and fluid for a guy his size. It's absolutely remarkable. Sal's is not, I mean, they're the defending state champions until somebody beats them. As the nature boy Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Sal's right now, still the man until somebody beats them in late February or early March. That's how this works. And yes, Sal's is 4-5 right now. But that does not mean they will not have a first round bye in the tournament. They're absolutely going to have one. It's just a matter of where. And it really matters what everyone else is going to be doing, throughout the state this year, because you got to think that, Dover is going to be in that chase. Sanford still, Middletown. Who else can you put it for? St. Elizabeth, obviously. I mean, St. Elizabeth right now has to be the clubhouse leader for the first seed in the tournament. But again, Sal's plays a lot of great teams. I mean, the last 7 days or last 7 to 10 days have featured DeMatha Catholic, Malvern Pratt, St. E today, and then they'll play William Penn on Tuesday. Then they'll have a week off, and then they'll come in and then they'll have Howard coming into Birkenhauer on next Tuesday, on not this Tuesday the 9th, but Tuesday the 16th. So Sal's plays a schedule that is designed for them to be state tournament ready. And they will be ready. They will be ready. I just think this was a case of them being, second half of back-to-back. Again, probably Coach Trevison and his guys are not going to use that as an excuse. But I talked about it this morning. Too many of these tournaments and things had these kids playing 3 games in 3 days, 2 games in 2 games, 2 games in 2 days, excuse me. And the body is not meant, no matter how athletic, no matter how fit, no matter how trained you are, it still matters that, you need to rest. Like, I run 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If I ain't running, I'm chilling. I mean, I went for a walk this morning because I was really steamed about, something that happened on Instagram with the First Day Hoops Report account. I mentioned that on Holden Court. As soon as I finished uploading the video, I stretched and went for a walk. But if I ain't running, I'm chilling. And I would like to see these young men and women have enough rest time so they can play the best basketball they can be. Putting, kids in the situation where they're playing 3 games in 3 days, 2 games in 2 games in 2 days, 3 or 4 games in a week. It's a lot. It's really a lot. And I want people to understand that this isn't me, just, concern trolling or using morality or anything. But, I just really want to see these kids be their absolute best because it's fun to watch them play. Today was a great atmosphere in spite of all the warnings from the fire marshal and the principal of St. Elizabeth's. Like, we need to have you guys in the seat. Yes. Yes. Everybody knows they need to sit down, but people got to find places to sit. People got to move. I think what it is that the state of basketball, the game of basketball in Delaware is outgrowing what the state can handle at this point. And that's just my opinion. This is just somebody who's watched, people file into Howard to see DeCourcy Jameson versus Jermaine Medley. This is a guy who's, seen Glasgow versus Penn when it was Corey and Stephen Curtis versus Lenny Brown, Gary Lumpkin, and Tail Davis. All the Salesianum, when Brandon Buffon was there, Brandon Buffon Sr., mind you. I've been around a long time. Some people may think I don't look like it. Some people may think I don't sound like it. But yes, I've been around a very long time. So, being able to watch the game of basketball grow as much as it has in Delaware, we really have to be mindful of, not being, what's the word I'm looking for? Exclusionary. Because I finally got a chance to meet the new DIA head today, Corporal David Baylor. Nice gentleman, by the way. It was good to meet Corporal Baylor today. Well, I guess I can call him President Baylor now since he's the head of DIA. And he said to myself, Mike Lang, and Bruce that media passes were going to go out, but there was going to be some cutback on who gets media passes. And while I'm not going to tell Dave Baylor how to do his job, quite frankly, because right now, because the DIA head job is thankless as is. Doesn't matter who has it. You know, people had their feelings about Donna Pope. People have had their feelings about Tommy Neubauer. And quite frankly, to be the head of an athletic commission in any state. I mean, Delaware is small, but Delaware has a lot of people, you know, making noise in different directions, in different schools, in different neighborhoods, in different sports. And it's a lot. So I'm not going to tell Dave Baylor how to do his job, not by a long shot, because I couldn't do it. Because, I mean, I was there. I mean, an Instagram comment had me this close to using an old Jesus and Marrow epithet. And I don't want to do that because I love doing this. But an Instagram comment had me this close to going absolutely nuts. But yeah, I'm not going to tell Dave Baylor how to do his job, but I just want everybody to be mindful, you know, everybody in these positions of power, of not being exclusionary, because yes, there have been an uptick in people with cameras. Make no mistake about it. The way that cameras now are a little more affordable. I mean, cameras are still pretty doggone expensive. My Sony A7 II normally runs about $1,800, $1,800, but I found it on sale for $998. Shouts out to Fat Kid Deals. If you're not, this public service announcement interrupts this basketball talk to talk to you about the greatness that is Fat Kid Deals. If you're not following Fat Kid Deals on Twitter, get your game up, because they got so much good stuff on sale, whether it's like cameras, whether it's appliances, whether it's clothing. Fat Kid Deals. Do yourself a favor. Yeah, that's where I got my camera from. But yeah, cameras are not as expensive as they once were. Cameras used to run like $4,000 and $5,000. Now you can get a real good one for $2,000. And a lot of these kids, they work hard. They have people that help them get cameras. And I'm granted, yes, the baselines and the sidelines have become very crowded. Not what I'm used to, because when I started covering basketball back in the early aughts, you had a little bit more room. But now, you know, kids, you know, they see the benefits of being able to create content. And I don't want people to feel like, especially young kids. I can see, you know, people like, you know, my guy Bruce over at Evil Media, the young lady Maddie Miller, met her today, really nice young lady. I don't want these people to feel like, you know, they're not welcome, because they do their work. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you show up to work, you got as much right to be there as I do. And I've been doing this for 21 going on 22 years. Matter of fact, you might as well say 22 years. I started doing this in 2002. It's 2024. And I just want people to, if I could just make that plea to President Baylor, to the head, to Doug Thompson, who oversees the board, to the board members, please, please, please don't draw such a hard line. Like, yes, there are some people who abuse the privilege of a DIA media pass. And I'm not going to say any names, because this person already doesn't like me. And quite frankly, I don't like this person. So he already knows what I'm talking about. He already knows I'm talking about him. So he'll deal. He'll live. He'll be all right. He tough. But as far as the kids go, the ones that are really trying to get into this, I want them to have as much right as me having one of these. Two of these, actually. I've actually have every DIA pass since I came back to Delaware in 2011. They're all just, you know, in my closet somewhere. But, you know, but I don't want these kids to feel like, you know, they're being excluded. I'm being excluded from doing what they love to do, and, you know, providing content for people who want content, because some older folks just feel like, you know, they're just a scourge, or they're taking up too much space. Like, let's be mindful about that, because we don't need this media scene in Delaware to be any less diverse than it already is. Like, when you look at the News Journal, when you look at, you know, WDEL, when you look at 302 Sports, and I'm not throwing shade at any of these institutions. Like, these are trained journalists, just like I'm trained journalists, but you don't see a lot of young faces of color in the media industry anymore, because they're all being shoved out, because everybody's like, oh, y'all just want to start a blog. Oh, you just doing this for clout. Oh, you just doing this for content. But content is king now. And that's why journalism is in the state it's in, because nobody's really adjusted to the fact that yes, we have an obligation to the truth. Those of us who've been doing this forever, we still have an obligation to the truth. But I still want people to be mindful of just pushing the younger folks out because you don't understand what they're doing. The kids understand what they're doing. Like, I scroll through other people's Instagram feeds because my stuff is just basically news. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had a stronger camera and I had a little more energy, I would definitely put a lot more effort and presentation into making everything look like a movie. I can't do it. I can't do it. These kids make cinematic masterpieces, and I want them to be able to continue to make cinematic masterpieces long after I'm at the old folks' home. Because, somebody's got to pick up this mantle. Granted, I'm more of a writer than I am a photographer or a videographer. I love trying, but these kids already have the talent. They have the eye for it. Let them cook. Let them cook. That's all I got. Let them cook. Okay, back to basketball. Again, if you missed the earlier portion of this show before I went off on a tangent, Salesianum, St. Elizabeth's won 84-77. I don't think I told you guys this one yet. 84-77, St. E's beat Sal's. Aiden Tobiason had 30. Julius Wright had 28. Stephen Nixon Jr. had a really good game off the bench with 13 points. Justin Hines, Kareem Thomas, Zach Swartout played very well. So did RJ Johnson. And again, I said at the beginning of the live, I felt like Isaiah Henson needs way more chances to rock. That's just my opinion. He just needs way more chances to get his thing off because he's an offensive-minded player. I mean, yes, he plays defense. He's also a really good passer too. I've noticed he made a really couple good passes that weren't converted, but they were really good passes. But yeah, Isaiah Henson's a dude. I would want to have the ball in his hands a lot more than he did on Sunday. And again, I'm not telling Taylor Trevisan how to do his job, not by any stretch of the imagination. But Isaiah Henson is a guy I feel like should get a lot more shots. That's just my take on things. Didn't mean to hit my desk that hard. But yeah, my overall takeaway from this is that I feel like Salesianum is still very much the defending state champions until they're not. But right now, St. Elizabeth is the number one team in the state. Mike Cassidy's doing a wonderful job over there. Aiden Tobiason, he's going to Temple for a reason. JT Wright, a lot of college scouts need to start filtering over to St. E Center to watch him play because he's a guard that's going to help somebody. The younger guys, the Kenny Hunter Juniors, the Stephen Nixon Juniors, the Akayan Alexanders, that's a team that's going to compete not just this year, but the next couple of years. Mason Price came off the bench today. Shouts out his pops, Lucky Price. Lucky and I talked after the game. He was like, I saw you on the whole court this morning. He was like, you was down bad. I was like, yeah. And Brahim Wilson, he was like, you should have did it last night because we were in we were in Sanford yesterday. He was like, you should just do your whole court tonight if you're going to be at Salesianum. I was like, man, I'll get to it. I'm fine. I was struggling this morning. I was absolutely struggling this morning. If you go back and watch the video, I was in a rough place, people. But we made it through, and we made it through this edition of this live edition of postgame. I may do more of these because this feels good. I like the way this feels, being able to just come to you guys right after a game, tell you my impressions, what I saw, and all that stuff. So once again, thank y'all for watching this postgame edition of, I guess it's a postgame edition of Home Court. We'll call it that. After St. E's defeat Sal's 84-77, hopefully we see this matchup again at the Bob, whether it be in the Final Four or the state championship game. But there's still a lot of basketball left to be played. Mike Cassidy will tell you that. Taylor Trevisan will tell you that. Any basketball coach in the state will tell you we still have 2 months of basketball left. And that's the beautiful thing, man. We are here until March 9th. March 9th, 2024. That's a long ways away. We got a lot to cover. There's teams from Hockessin all the way down to Georgetown that feel like they got a shot in this thing. And so a lot of teams do, boys and girls. And we look forward to bringing it to you as we always do. So thank y'all for tuning in. Greatly appreciate y'all's time. This week, my schedule is looking like Caravel St. E's girls, William Penn Sal's boys, same day. Wednesday, I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to go see Howard Concord boys or Howard Concord girls. Friday, I am at Glasgow McCain boys. Saturday, because William Penn St. E's moved that. William Penn Sal's, moved that game from Saturday to Tuesday. Saturday, I may just look around and just say, okay, if nobody's playing, I'll chill. And then, we'll get right back to business on Monday, MLK Day. We'll be at Ursuline AI DuPont. So thank you all for watching this edition of this post-game edition of Home Court. We're going to do a few more of these because this just feels like right. This feels like the good thing to do. Talk to you guys right after a game, tell you what I saw, tell you what I thought, and hopefully we can get more participation. Shouts out to Coach Matt Winnington, who was leaving a comment that says the St. E's JV team also look very good. This could be the program that's going to be hard to compete with over the next few years. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a program that's really going to be, really, really good. You can point to Sanford, you can point to Sally's, you can point to St. Elizabeth's on the boys' side. Howard, right now they're struggling, but that's because they're playing basically sophomores and juniors. Feel like they'll be in the hunt next year. Dover still returns a lot after this year. So yeah, once again, I got to hurry up and put these little clips together for Instagram and then figure out what I missed during NFL Sunday. Hey, schedule makers. A lot of us missed week 18. And a lot of us like football. Let's try to think about that next year. I'm just messing with y'all. But thank y'all for watching this edition of Holding Court, this live edition. Greatly appreciate y'all's time as always. We'll see you guys in the gyms this week, and we'll see you for Holding Court next Sunday. Till that time, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out.